We are at the start of day number 2 in the day's game turn. Things have flipped around. I have reset all of the card decks, or both of the card decks, and I have rejigged all of the infantry, artillery, cavalry units as per their conditions for the end of day number 1. We are left with a large number of Union troops now coming through from the Tennessee River with Buell at Pittsburgh Landing. Grant is down here. There's a lot of units now that can come down this way and crush. We're expecting them to crush the opposition of the CSA. They themselves, the Confederates, have managed to rally some of their troops, but not that many. They're looking weak. We did check the wind conditions on day number 1. It never occurred at all. We didn't get to Pittsburgh Landing. We didn't get to the roads from Corinth, so neither side won on that wind condition. The other wind condition is holding 3 of these fortified hilltops, 1, 2 and 3. Only 2 were held. That will be enough, holding 2 as a win condition on day number 2, but not on day number 1. So if the Confederates can hold on to these 2 hilltops, they could yet still win this game. The other win condition was taking a number of units limited from both sides and rolling a dice number equal or less than the difference. They both had the same number of lost units, so that condition would not occur. So, having done all that, we are about ready to get ourselves going again with day 2 of Shiloh 1862. So what I think we're going to do, because the whole game has flipped over, literally these cards have flipped over. We now have 4 dice for the blues and 3 dice for the greys, and the whole attitude has changed of the game. No longer is the greys trying to get to Pittsburgh Landing or the 3 strategic points. No longer are the blues trying to get through to the roads to Corinth, which they were never likely to do for the entirety of this game so far. The object really is for the Confederate players to hold on to these important hills here and here, bulk up their forces on there and stop the blues from overrunning these points. If the grey player, the Confederates, are still here at the end of the day number 2, then the Confederates will win this game. Similarly, if the blues can take 2 hills, they will win this game. They've only got to take 1 and hang on to it. I can't see really that if the blues get 1 of these hills, the greys haven't got enough strength to do it. So it's going to be a slow movement of encirclement, a slow movement of pressurising, drawing units into battles and doing whatever they can with big bashes on dice. And I don't want to bore you with all the small movements that's going to occur. Lots of shuffling, lots of fiddling around. You can see how this game is played, but I will bring you the important big battles as they occur live. So the game has moved on a couple of turns from when I last spoke to you. Basically, a lot of units have come down from the Union side, from their Pittsburgh Landing, into Shiloh Church in a piecemeal fashion. They've been playing the Union cards, their lost order cards, onto the CSA, who haven't been able to move their units forward. A couple of ineffective artillery rolls from them, but we have got a decent roll, enough to make an attack into this victory area for the Union player. They've rolled a withdrawal, one card, which has been a withdrawal card. That's a good card for later on when we've done some damage to other units, to the Union units. And we have also got a fire order, so we can pump some artillery into here first, and we could get a hit. Nice! And we do retreat. 1 unit has to retreat out of this region. It's going to go back towards Pittsburgh, roads to Corinth. Get me directions confused here. And we have now 2 movement orders left. We can move in on a movement order, regular, 1 guy. And on the leader's order, we can move in the veteran infantry in there too. So we're going to get 6 dice first in defence from the changing hands here. 6 dice in defence for the Confederate players. And he has scored 3 hits. Ooh, that's nasty. Let's see what damage he does. He's going to do 3 movebacks. Ooh, that was a turnip for the cooks. We do have a hold card where we can cancel the pushback of one of those units, but obviously we can't cancel more than we got. So they have to go back there. That attack was ineffective. I'll see you when something again happens. A fraction further on, and the Confederate army have moved themselves northwards to try to fill in these areas around here, get some more strength up here. And in response to that, on the Union turn, they have just picked themselves up 3 artillery fires, which they're going to concentrate all onto this one hornet's nest shot. One from here, one from here, one from here. It's straight artillery, not a leader's artillery. And they have scored 1 hit out of it, which will damaged one of the units in here. Oh, nice. So, 1 damaged cavalry. I think we'll take. Much toing and froing has resulted in a Confederate block hold still across the middle of this board here. There's been some reduction in their units. They've had to retreat their leader a little bit now, and we now have on the Union turn 2 dice going into here as an artillery attack, and we roll 1 off the board entirely and wreck the place. They've both missed. And we have 2 cavalry units going into this region versus this 1 lonely infantry guy down there. He gets to roll 2 dice in defense at first. He gets 1 hit. Okay. And it's a retreat order. So one of these cavalries must retreat from whence he came. And because we have the charge on the flat, he gets 3 dice. And he does 3 misses entirely. Okay, we still haven't made that decisive breakthrough, but we are trying to squash units down, and we are moving units down around this southern section at the moment. There has been some changes down south, not too dramatic. The one Confederate unit that was here has moved itself voluntarily up onto the hills to give itself a better defensive position, and the Union are coming through. They have got a decent dice roll, orders roll for the first time in a little while. They got an artillery card that they can play, and 3 artillery shots into Hornet's Nest, doubled up to 6 dice. Let's see if they do some massive damage, and 1 movement order after that, try to capitalise on what we hope will be a smashing roll. And we got 2 hits out of that. That's not too bad. It's probably average. And they are going to move 2 units back. That's quite handy. I guess it's going to be the 1 Union cavalry, CSA cavalry and 1 infantry. They go straight back towards there. And now the 1 unit that we can move in, so he's going to be defending with or attacking with 3 dice if he survives the defense by these guys. 1 veteran and 1 regular infantry rather, gives them 5 dice in total. It's not a hill, it's a flat. That got stuck to my finger. It wasn't my magic shuffling, and we've only got the 1 hit out of it. So I guess they're hoping it's going to be a retreat card. It's not, it's damage. There's nothing that we can do as the Union player to reduce that damage, but it does give us 3 dice against the opposition there. We've got no more bonus cards for it, so it's just going to be the 3 dice. What can it do in 2 hits? That's nice. Now if these are going to be 2 retreats, we gain that region. That could be quite handy. So we're hoping to get low numbers, really. Oh, it's not. It's damage and retreat. So 1 damage, 1 retreat. That unit gets moved back as a damaged unit. And we can actually play nothing else. Nope, there's nothing else that we can do. I'm desperately trying to find a way of kicking this guy out, but we can't. This guy has to move back from whence he came. Once again, we moved on, and we've managed to get some units into this region, which is just on the western side of this target hill that we're trying to get to. We're getting in there 1 regular infantry, 1 damaged infantry, and 2 of the cavalry, but we've also got a friendly fire card that we can play as well. That will take some of the sting out of these 2 defending units. They've been a bit pesky. They've taken some damage while they've been up there, but they're still hanging on. But they're going to get their 4 dice in defence, reduced to 3 in defence plus 1 friendly fire. Let's hope for a good roll for the Union's sake. and it is just the one hit being done on a Union player. The friendly fire dice didn't work out nicely, so damage it inflicts is 1 damage on one of these units, and I think we're going to take it on one of the cavalries. Let's now look at the dice that the Union player will get to roll. He will get 2 dice for infantry, 2 for infantry, and 1 each for the cavalry. That's 6 dice. Where's my other blue one gone? Thank you. 6 dice in reply, and they've all missed. Oh man alive, we're not doing very well with this Union return at this stage. With an extra movement card and a good movement roll, we managed to get 3 units into Hornet's Nest. We have a cavalry that's going to be charging in on the flat and 2 infantry. We must roll the 3 dice for the veteran infantry there that's in defence. They get 3 dice in defence. What can he do? He could do 1 hit. Okay, that's not bad. And he does some damage. We take it on the horses first, and then in reply we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice. Maximum dice should be 7, only do 6, and I can see 1 hit. These blue dice have really gone cold just recently, but it's going to damage the veteran. The veteran is already damaged. He is eliminated from the game. We haven't had much to talk about for the Confederates of late, but they have got a good artillery attack into here. They can fire 1 unit into here and 1 unit into here. They've got the artillery boosting card as well. So we do the 2 dice into this guy first, and their artillery fails, and 2 dice into this young chap down here. And they get a hit, finally. And it's doing a damage to this chap. So he's going to be flipped over there. And we'll look at the next set of cards. I think it's time to put the brakes on the action. I'll explain to you what's happened. There has been some horrendous die rolls in favour of the Confederate Army. Nothing much moves on the board, because a lot of the blue attacks were being rebuffed forward and backwards. There was no real good strong progress, but the die rolls for the Confederates, there was loads of 1s. Loads of 1s meant lots of card draws. It actually means right now, and I've only just shuffled the decks around to see what we've got left, there is only 4 cards left for the Confederates, and they still have these 2 victory points, 1 here and 1 here. So I think we can go back and do this live now, because all the shuffling that's happened has been very stodgy, very sticky. Dice rolls frustrating me all over the place, and I'm sure frustrating which either side you would have been rooting for. But nothing has happened. We can't seem to get up into these hills with any kind of, oops, sorry, he should be back there, any kind of meaningful attacks. He was pushed back on the last guy. They get in there, they can't do the damage, they get moved back. It's been a constant battle. Once a side are on the hills, they seem to be impregnable at this time. But it's the sheer lack of cards that we are struggling with now, that the Union player is going to, I think, have a problem, because when we get to the end of day 2 in 4 cards time, they haven't got these 2 hills yet. They've only got 1 themselves over here, or they're the last player into. They can easily go back and grab that. That's not a problem. But let's start off now with the Union player's turn. It is 4 dice that he gets to roll, and 1 card himself and 3 artillery. It's been shots like this all the time. We do actually have an artillery card that we can play, so let's just draw 1 more card for us. It's a morale check. They're frustrating. I think we're possibly not going to be using that one anytime soon, but well, actually we could do in this region here, because we've got this nice surround on it, but we've got this artillery. We've got 3 artillery shots. We can get 2 shots into this region, into this hill. And 1 into here. So if we take 1 shot into here first with our extra artillery boosted card, that's 2 dice, and they both miss. And then we can get 4 shots into here, 4 dice, and they all miss. It's been a game of this. Oh my giddy aunt. So nothing else to do with them. there's no more cards for them to play. Go over to the greys. They've got 3 dice in this turn. They get two leader orders and a card draw. Oh my giddy aunt. But well, I know what I'm going to do as the Confederate Army's boss. We're going to take our 1 card draw, dink. We're going to take the other 2 dice as card draws themselves, because we're now down to 1 card. The Confederates have got a chance of saving. I thought they were done for. I thought it was all going to be over and Red Rover. They've held on tremendously. They've got a move card that they can play. They've got some friendly fire cards that they can play as well. But I think all they're going to do is move units in and bulk up these 2 big hills. They've got 1, 2, 3 units in here now. A movement order gets 1 extra guy into the hills right on top, and my fingers are still fat, as you can see. That would be it. We would not be wanting to use our... Let's have a think. What card do we not want to... We can junk the withdraw card, even though that would be a good card if we had taken or inflicted more damage on our opposition. And I think 1, 2, 3, we've got to lose 1 more card. We might play that extra movement card to move 1 more unit up onto the hill up here. So we're down to our requisite number of 5 cards. And 1 more card to go. Ooh. And I think we may even play this Lost Order card even before the Union player rolls their 4 dice. We're all going to ruin your day before you get... Oh, man alive. You didn't... How often does that happen online and you say it never happens? There you go, 4 6s. It's been the equivalent of all the ones that the Union have been playing. Cards balance themselves out. That is 4 leader choices, of which the Lost Order card being played by the Confederates is going to take 1 of these dice away. So 3 orders from the Union. What can they do? I think, being as though we've got 1 leader who's tucked away, where is he? Back here. He can really have done with moving forward a lot earlier. I was a bit silly, a bit tiny leaving him back there, probably because he was a bit hidden some of the time with our 3 orders. But it's so strong up there. I'm wondering if we're better to take attack down to here, because at least we've got a veteran infantry in here. So we're going to do that. We're going to try to move the veteran and 2 infantry in there. In fact, it's a 2 boundary, so we can get a lot more than that in there. We can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units into there on that 1 movement of 3 or 3 movement orders, if you know what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, double checking my counting here. And we have to roll the defensive dice first. They got plenty of defence in there. They're going to get 6 dice in defence first. Where's my other 3 dice? There we go. 3 grey dice in there. This is the defence by the Confederates, and they have scored 3 hits. It's going to at least push 3 of those units back. It's going to do 1 damage and 2 pushed back. So 1 damage we would take on 1 of the infantry, and 2 of the damaged ones get pushed back already. Throwing the cards around still, as you can see, but we are going to get 6 dice against them as blues. There is a morale check card we could use. I think we're going to have to use that and see if we can in any way scavenge a movement of those out of that region. But it will be a real... Oh, that's not too bad. Actually, there's 4 damage there, or 4 hits on there. So we have inflicted 2 damage and 2 movements. So remember that. We have 2 damage here. We can take 1 damage and 2 damage. 2 will have to move back out of the region, and we are going to do our morale check on there. Now, if I remember rightly, top of my head, we have a base number of 1. We have 1, 2 surrounding regions adjacent to it. That makes a number of 3. And we have done 4 casualty or dice against these guys. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the number or less that we have to roll under to actually move these guys out of that region. Is there anything else we can do to mitigate that on either side? I'm looking at the cards here. Friendly fires, firepowers. No, there isn't. So 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 casualties, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we rolled under 7 with 2 dice, playing this morale check card over here, then the Union can shift these guys out of the area. They've failed their morale, they have to retreat, and the Union would effectively, I think, be so close to winning the game, we can possibly even call it, that we're not going to, but let's see if we can roll under 7. They've rolled a 6, man alive. That means these guys have to retreat from here right at the last. They've snatched the victory from the jaws of defeat. We think all these guys get to stay in here, up on the hill. They've grabbed the 2nd place with 1 card left. Oh, I got to admit, I got slightly demoralised from a Union player's point of view. Nothing was happening. It was a big block hole. It was the spider in the plug hole. The water wouldn't go down. Finally, we've got a punch through, and it came from an extraordinary way of playing that morale check card when. Oh, well, I obviously, if we didn't do the 4 hits, if we hadn't have done the extraordinary damage there's so many variables that happen, but we're in there now. This is going to be really, really difficult for the Union player to lose this from here.